All right, we're back, and it's been little bit of a break, not too long. Say hi, Mark.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Cool, and Phil.
Hello, everybody.
Excellent. So we got new tech, new excitement going on. Um, we're keeping with our old tech here, where we have some cool slideshows and our two up-to-date software of OBS. A little shout out to them. So who's looking at the schedule? I'm not looking at the schedule. I don't have my two monitors anymore.
Hang on. I am not doing that either. And also, the music union contacted me right now, and I did not get to play my music.
I think you should do that now before I get hit with the ULP.
Yes, here we go. All
Excellent.
right, now it's official.
We've begun. So we only lost 1 month, right?
I think so. I
Yeah.
think you're right.
I think we just lost February and we're here in March. So we're a little late in March, but we're not going to talk about that. So, so I'm wondering if Phil advances the next slide. Does that work? Look at that. On the fly. Okay, so I've been painting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I got the paint factory up and running again, and I bought from LA War Games. I bought some U.S. infantry. Really love the U.S. infantry. Really love the speed paints. I'm using GW speed paints right now, but I do want to try some of the others. I think it's Army Painter has speed paints. Is that right, Mark?
Yes, you're right. You are
Because you
correct.
use Army Painter speed paints. Phil, do you use speed paints?
Yeah,
I don't use speed paints actually.
I use both. I like the Army Painter has some good colors. Like they have metallics that I really like. The GW doesn't have any metallic speed paints.
Okay, so I remembered it as Phil had the speed paints and uses them, and Mark has the speed paints and doesn't use them.
I have a few speed paints. Yes, you are
But,
correct.
but you don't use them.
No, I haven't. No.
Do you just dry brush then?
Yes, I shade and dry brush. Lately I've been getting lazy and I don't do the highlights. I just get them on the table. So I just shade and so.
So this is, oh, you can do that. You can advance. So this is, I've been hearing that there is a community playing BA at Geeky Tees. Is that true? Can anyone confirm that?
I
No,
cannot confirm that, but I went and played Chain of Command there a week ago.
What about you, Phil? You haven't heard anything?
I haven't heard anything. I haven't been out there in a while. So how was Trade of Command there? Did they have a good set of World War II terrain available or anything like that?
It was Paul brought all the stuff. It was a game that we were playing. It's a French campaign. It's 1940. But all those tables were full of people. I have to say they were probably Warhammer though. Full all those tables were full of Warhammer. So, but the people that walked by did know bolt action, and so maybe there is. Um, the people seem. I like that store a lot. There's a lot of different people in there. It was really crowded. It was a Saturday, I think, when I was there. Um, I think that's a pretty hip spot to go play games.
Yeah, I really like it. I have to buy some tea there, though. I haven't bought
Oh,
tea at all, which seems not right. You got to buy tea at Geeky Teas, right?
yeah, for sure, for sure.
You can't really see it. There's a really cool Tynranid crawling out from the back door, which I think is really epic and cool. But yeah, I read it online on one of my Discord channels that there is a BA group starting to appear at Geeky Teas, so we're gonna have to investigate that.
Excellent. Yeah, let's get something going. That's great.
Does DKTs have their own Discord server?
They
Do you
do.
know? Okay, I have to go find that and join it then.
I'll put it in the Facebook page so lots of people can join.
Perfect. That'd be great.
But we did that last episode. I think we talked about Geeky Teas and showed all the rooms and everything like that. Like Mark and I both say, it's really cool. But this is our last battle, Mark.
It is. It is. It was fun.
It,
When did you guys play this? When is this?
Before the fires. I'm not sure when that was. It seems so long ago now. Was it January?
no, it'd have to be December.
December.
This
Okay.
is a December game because January 6th and 7th was the debacle, the fires.
Okay. Oh, okay. Right. I'm sorry. I don't know the dates of all of it. Yeah. This game was bad for me. I played my deployment very badly. I would take it all back and do it over again if I had a chance. But Paul played really well.
Yeah, this is a really fun little mini game in the game where you had I'd taken these woods and then you advanced and it was really balanced right here, just this little
Yes.
area.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
we just kept losing troops. You know, this is sort of the end where I had a full squad, you had a full squad. Now we have
Right.
literally three figures each.
I think what was the rule set surrounded or something like that. So I put my men out in the middle of the board and you were able to attack them pretty quickly.
Yeah,
But yeah, this was off to the side.
as I remember, you put your heavy weapons on the board instead of bringing them in later. If you had put some infantry in there and just dug them in, it would have been a very different battle. But
100%.
yeah, that's why we war games, so that when we come up
Yes.
against the real foes, we're ready.
That's that's right. Live and learn. Live and learn.
That's right.
Awesome.
So
But you
this
played
is
really well.
Yeah, so this is LA War Games. I wanted to touch base on here again because
Okay.
he is like got his hands in so many different games. You can go there and play 40K. You can play Bolt Action. He's got a ton. You can play Chain of Command. He carries them all. He carries Stargrave and Frostgrave and a ton of Perry miniatures and artisan miniatures, and
Oh wow.
he's got primo paints, and he's a painter and a builder, so he's got the best kind of glue and the best kind of paints and the best kind of brushes.
Where is this at, Paul?
Little Tokyo.
Okay. Okay. How do you get down there?
So it's right off the metro, so you can take the train if that's something you do. Otherwise, it's right off the 101. It's really close to Dodger Stadium.
Okay.
You just go down south of Dodger Stadium, and then I get off at Chinatown and just go straight and into LA, and it's right there. I'm trying to remember the name of the
Sweet.
streets, but it's in a little mini mall, so there's lots of food. You don't have to go far for food,
Awesome.
and yeah, it's really cool. And his terrain is epic. If you go to move on here in this, you'll see
Oh
it's
yeah.
just.
Yeah. I saw that nice micro art.
But this is for Bolt Action. He's got it for every
Yeah.
game. You know, I haven't
Nice.
photographed the other stuff, but
Sure.
everything he does is
So
that
That's
way.
Paul,
killer.
have you been playing lately, or
Pardon me?
have you been playing here lately?
No, I haven't been playing.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
just getting back into,
Okay.
because now I'm on break, so I'll be able to play more. I had a robotics season, which
Oh,
we did really well. We did,
okay.
so that was really fun. So next is what's going on with Phil in the world of,
Um, this is Strategicon from, I guess that's February, the convention at LAX. So I ran a BattleTech game, and lately I've been running games at Strategicon. You run a game, you get a free badge. So this is classic BattleTech, but I put some terrain out on the board to line up with a lot of it, and I had, I believe, 6 players playing this game, and it was just basically the white and purple guys versus the blue guys, and the players all had a lot of fun. We finished the scenario in a little over 4 hours, which was about what I expected. It was a lot of carnage, a lot of mechs getting destroyed, a couple getting knocked down, and yeah, I've been enjoying running stuff at Strategicon lately. See if there are more. Okay, then here's a
that.
tank.
Yeah, that's just me painting, and reminding me to say, what have you guys been painting?
Nice.
I know Mark has pictures, but they are later on in the slideshow.
Yeah.
So
I'll
what
let
it,
you go first, Phil,
yeah.
if you want.
So what have I been paid? I have been getting into the epic Hail Caesar. I had a bunch of friends who bought a whole bunch of it when it came out last year, and so I bought some at Thanksgiving Day sale from Miniature Market. I painted one division box of Carthaginians, a box of elephants, and now I'm currently painting um, a bunch of Italian and Allied troops. And I think I got a picture of some of the original Carthaginians that I've done. So here was some of the first batches that I did, and they're
That's
very
sweet.
tiny, but they've been a lot of fun to paint. It's been fun doing a different scale aside from the normal 28 millimeter.
And
And those little decals for the shields.
They do. They come with field decals, and these guys are 15 millimeter.
so does Dan play that game? I think he plays a lot of Epic, doesn't he?
He does, and he is actually painting up some Romans. So eventually, when I get enough Carthaginians done, and he's got enough Romans done, which hopefully isn't another couple of months, because I got a lot of Carthaginians left to do, we will be able to get a game in at the church, and maybe a couple other people as well.
Sweet.
So do you have elephants?
I do have elephants. I
Ooh.
guess I don't get pictures of the elephants. The elephants are a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
that's the best part of running Carthaginians is to have war elephants.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, stomp, stomp.
That's cool. Nice.
So did this go off? Did you go to this?
I did not go to this. I know nothing about it. So
Okay.
if anyone knows, let us know.
Yeah, bring it on. So then the next one I think is this did go off, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that was really fun.
We do not have any pictures, I think, from this event, but yeah, I think we had a lot of people playing. I think there was like 3 or 4 games going on. I can't remember.
Yes. Yes. I had what did I have? Germans? No, I had British. British versus Dan's Germans. And I think you played some Japanese, did you not, Phil?
Yeah, I had a 4-player game with Japanese on one side and American Marines on the other side, and it was very close. And I think the Japanese got the objectives at the last second. So, yeah, that was our first. This is kind of for a lot of people their first big game of V3.
Yeah, and we had a new player show up, and he brought some Germans, and he played Kevin's Soviets. And then on the end table, it was Americans versus Germans. So it was a fun day. Lots of players getting
Yeah,
the.
I think that was the most people we've ever had at the church. It was like 14 people, I think, there or something like that. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was a really good day. Lots. I think I am a proponent of version 3. I like it much better. So, and actually, I went and demonstrated it yesterday at Xander's. She had a grand reopening because of her expansion there. So I demonstrated it, and people picked it up really fast, and I think it's a really good rule update.
I'm enjoying the rules, but I'm kind of wanting to wait until more of the army books come out because I think the Germans have an advantage just with their army book, and I think like the Americans aren't very good until their new book comes out. So I'll
Agreed. Yeah, we'll see what they do.
at least want to wait till the new American book comes out, which should be fairly shortly, I believe.
And I have just got the German book a couple months ago or whatever when it came out, and reading about the new nationality thing, Panzer Ace.
That's a
I
lot
don't
of
know. What's that?
Yeah, Panzer Ace is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I haven't got to use it yet, but I didn't really notice it in the what was it? Those pre demonstrations before the book came out. So I think that might be a good upgrade for the Germans.
I think so. It would certainly want me to take like a big German tank as well, like a Tiger or something that could have the ace skill.
Hmm.
I did play one game of Old Action 3 where I did bring out the Tiger and it was a lot of fun, so I have to do that again.
Awesome.
It's so much cheaper now in V3 that it's worth playing.
Yeah, and then you get the command tank with it. So
Yeah. Or the command tap for something else,
oh,
yes.
exactly.
So these are all games before the FAQ, right?
I didn't know there was an FAQ. Thank you for letting me know. What's going on with the FAQ?
It's kind of a big.
For some things that people were doing a lot of already in V3, such as
What happened? Let's talk.
spotters, right? Was that the one? So previously, you could have one spotter spot for multiple batteries. You can't do that anymore. I believe you need one
Oh,
battery.
they
Yeah.
changed it, huh?
Yeah, they eliminated it. So if you buy a spotter, he only spots for one of anything that's on the board, but that's it. He can't do everyone sees what he sees kind of rule.
Discuss. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Phil.
I'll say I think that seems fair. It was making one spotter. It was making it easy to destroy a unit just by having so much firepower on it.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Chain of Command lets you use any troops as a spotter. So I don't know.
I just think it. Yeah. Go ahead, Phil.
You, you train a command, you usually don't see people who are bringing like 3 or 4 mortar batteries or 3 or 4 other things that are firing indirect that could use spotters.
Yeah, because I played Jason. He brought 3 heavy mortars in one game, and it was a pain in the butt. I killed the spotter, but he still was able to see me, and then yeah,
Yeah,
he had
so and you're basically given historical TONEs, and so you can't take all the mortars that you want, for example.
right.
Well, even if you take all the mortars, you're only going to get indirect from one. You'll have to move up into position for the others, which I think is so much better because the spotter rule is odd. Having done it in real life, it was like you're not going to run multiple batteries. You're just going to one run one battery.
Right. Right. Okay. So next, what's the next big change?
I think that was kind of it. I think they just,
Okay.
yeah. Did you see
Okay.
anything else, Phil?
There, I don't remember anything else from the back in errata. I'm sure there was something. I don't
Okay,
remember.
I could live with that. No big deal. Just
Um,
cuts down on. I mean, people can still take a ton of mortars. They just have to buy the spotters for them, right?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah, and I think it's way more interesting anyway. It's more realistic and gives you the flavor of it instead of just this weird anomaly where this guy's superhuman. Battery
I
one,
agree.
I want you to do this. Battery two, I want you to do this. Battery three,
Right. Okay. Okay. All right.
adjust three. Battery two, battery one, fire for effect. It would just be weird,
Right. Yeah, he'd have ultimate control.
right? Be wearing.
Okay. Sweet.
So what's next at the um, church?
Uh,
Uh,
we, that's the next set of slides. So this is from March, the first weekend in March, where we had a whole bunch of different historical games. I believe this was a 28 millimeter Hail Caesar game.
yes, it is.
Mark, did you play this one?
Yeah, I played. This is Romans versus Celts, or yeah, Celts. Just a straight battle. We it was 2 versus 2. I was on the Celtic team. We charged in and we lost to the Romans because of their hardy abilities. But at first it looked like we were going to bust through. But overall it just came out like a historical battle where the Romans were able to withstand our charges and destroy us.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons that for the epic they went with the Carthaginians because they have some tougher troops with better armor, unlike the Celts here.
Yes. It was we used our all of our general charge in the first move, which I think we might have should have used it on the second move, but where the general gets to move the whole army, you
Uh,
know. So we did that on our first move, and we maybe should have done it on our second move.
what else? Then there was a game of the Men Who Would Be King going on, a one-on-one player. It was Brits versus Afghans, I believe.
Yes, you're correct. That's Dan and Mark.
Yeah. I believe the Afghans won. I'm not 100% sure. It was a tough match. I think the Brits had to make it all the way across the table. They didn't move all the way across the table, which they had difficulty with.
Yeah, I don't remember the ins and outs of this one.
And then we had a Test of Honor game. There were 4 of us, and this was my first time playing Test of Honor. So I was pretty happy with it because I've had the models for a while. I had played version 1 of Test of Honor, and finally got to try version 2 of Test of Honor. So it was a lot of fun. My guys were at the top. I mostly went to get Luis. We met on the bridge, this bridge here. My ninja and monk versus his samurai, and his samurai basically cut my guys to pieces. This bridge was a bloodbath for both of us, but his one leader cut through my two strong guys right there, right here. This is certainly the before picture. But it was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to playing again. There's a lot of variety in types of units that we could have. So yeah, very pleased with the game.
Can you describe kind of like how it played out just mechanic wise?
So it's a lot like Bolt Action in the way that it plays, in that you basically have a bag which has chits in it. When you pull a chit out, that's who moves. Now it's slightly different in that your units are basically comprised of leaders and line troops. You can see here that the leaders are on the left, and that they've got like samurai helmets for their chits, and then the infantry on the right has a little follower chit. And basically, the leaders could do multiple activations per turn. They could either do two or three. Followers could only do one activation. And you figure out how many activations all the guys on both sides could do, and you throw those chits into a bag. So this bag has leader chits, follower chits, plus it has these three other special chits that I'll get to in a second. So when it's your turn, you pull out a chit. If it's a leader chit, you get to move one of your leaders. If it's a follower chit, you get to move one of your followers. If you've already moved all your followers or one of your leaders and you pull one of those chits, you have to give the chit to your opponent and they get to get an extra movement. Now there's also those three extra tokens that basically if you pull one of those, the first one that gets pulled, you get to draw a special card from your deck into your hand. And same when the second one is pulled, you also get to put another card from the deck into your hand. But when the third one is pulled, turn is over. So if you haven't moved all your models, then you haven't moved all your models, and not everyone gets to move in this game. So it's not like Bolt Action where every model gets to move every turn. So you got to be careful. You might not want to move your guys first, but you certainly want to make sure that when that second special chit is pulled, that you move everyone left who's important. So I really like it. It's a little like Bolt Action, but you can't just save everything important to the end. And because in Bolt Action, what I'll do is I'll often move some guy, wait till the end to move a guy, and then I'll move that exact same model first in the next turn and get two like activations with the tank back to back or something like that. But you can't really do that in this game because first of all, you might pull a leader chit or you might pull a follower chit, and you don't really know when the turn's going to end either. It might not be you who ends the turn; it might be your opponent. So
Right.
that bit of mystery, I think adds a lot more complexity to the game. So your decisions about when to move your models.
Yeah, I liked it when the one time I played it.
Yeah.
I kind of
Yeah,
like
so
when you do multiplayer in Bolt Action though, and you have like someone's running the armor and someone's running the infantry, and you have different colored die. That's always really interesting because then you're like, oh no, you don't get that double move, or you have like, okay, what are you gonna do?
Right, exactly.
yes. All right. So what else do we got? Here's just a nice group photo of everyone who is at the March event. So aren't we great looking?
Such a bold group.
Yes. Those are just some British hussars, 7th Hussars from the Sudan I've been working on.
Yeah,
Just
so they look pretty good. So is this from Men Who Would Be King then also?
yeah, I could use them for that for sure. I have a Sword in the Flame also. I like that game. So I'd use them for either one.
Yeah, I know a
But
lot of people are playing Men Who Would Be King right now. I don't have any models for it, but there certainly is a group that plays this game.
oh yeah, I like it a lot. If you need to borrow any, let me know, Phil. So yeah, just been fiddling around with these guys. Got them from Artisan Designs.
Hmm. They look really nice, and those are
Thanks, man.
yeah, not speed paints. So you do have your
No,
own.
I just shade them with this shade from Army Painter, soft shade or
Yeah,
strong shade, depending on what they're doing.
yeah, they look really really good though.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
All right. Oh, and then we have upcoming events.
So
So this
Advance, yeah, this is next weekend or 2 weekends? What's that? 2 weekends, right?
too.
Yep, 2 weekends. That's
And
my spring break. That looks
This
like
is
a fun game. What is that game that's being played there?
not sure. I just pulled it off the website.
Uh-huh.
but
Um,
this is
That's
down
cool.
in Diego, correct?
San Diego, yep. And then if you go on, I have a list of all the games that are currently on their site as of today.
Oh,
Um,
sweet.
and so there's a Saga tournament going on, which is, I guess, big down in San Diego. It's got a big following up here in Los Angeles too. Um,
Yeah.
two BA,
Saga is actually okay up here too.
right? Yeah, and then two BA games, one War in the Pacific and one Assault on the Reichstag.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know who's running those or what. And then you can kind of see there's a lot of, well, there's Axis and Allies, War at Sea, so that's a big game. But a lot of these are just, these new rule sets that I'm not even familiar with.
Right.
The Mordheim is the old Warhammer Mordheim kind of remodeled into rules. So, and I know a lot of people know Dropfleet Commander. That's a very popular game set, but most of these others are game sets I don't even recognize. They're
Yeah,
Uh,
Hobgoblin's a new fantasy rank and fight style game that's gotten good reviews.
are
yeah,
these board games also, or all miniatures?
pretty much all miniatures. And the Axis and Allies has miniatures, but we all think of it as Axis and Allies.
Sure.
Yeah, but I mean, there's Star Trek and Star Wars games here, it looks like, and I'm not sure what rule set they're using for these.
I wonder what the Mormon Trail is.
Yeah, if you go on the website, they have all the particulars about what the rule sets are, and yeah, it's probably too much for us on this podcast to go through, but definitely,
Yes.
like War Master Revolution sounds really cool, and the goblins will get out if you don't watch out. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I know DBA is an Ancients, and they're running that through HMSG. Let me say it one more time. HMGS PSW. But is Wellington going to show up?
Luis might be down there. I'd have to talk to him. I haven't sure. I thought he said he was going.
Okay.
Because April 5th is also the day of the next event at the church as well. I believe it's an AWI event.
Yeah, we're putting on the AWI event that day. So we had a double booking, I guess.
Is that going to be the same with the Osprey game and the Tomahawk game?
Yeah, it's AWI, whatever rule set. And then another member's bringing a set. I forget the name of it. It's a homebrew game. So if you're interested in learning that.
Yes, I'm pretty sure Rebels and Patriots will be there. I'm not sure about Muskets and Tomahawks. That might be there. Yeah, I don't know. And
I'm gonna bring muskets and tomahawks, but I know most people don't really like it. So if people want to play it, that's cool.
some people might be using like the Too Fat Lardy Sharp Practice or something for it as well. So I don't know if there'll be a game of that. There might be.
Yes.
But you can see like Hobgoblin learn to play. Obviously, that's a new rule set someone's pulled out.
Hmm.
But Borg-a-Palooza sounds really fun too.
Star Trek.
Um, but my favorite is Cosplayers Have Ruined the Convention Again. It's an actual game of like 28 millimeter.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay. I was like, is that our next topic? I didn't know that was the next topic.
Nope, that's the game someone's running.
Okay, sweet. Sweet.
So I think it would be fun just to go down and see these games and what they're really like.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, it's good. They're really thought out, probably.
So is anyone going to make it down there?
I can't make it to I'm going to visit family on the 5th. Maybe I can. I'm not sure though. I don't think so.
What about you, Phil?
No, because of the game at the church, and I'm not
Oh,
100% sure if I'm going to be able to make that either. So
okay.
we will see.
All right, and then coming up from Warlord, there are pre-orders. The M3 Grant, and it's plastic, which is really nice. So I guess, is that an Italieri kit? I'm assuming it is.
I assume so. Yeah, I can't wait for that. I built the old metal and resin one, and the plastic one will be so much nicer.
Well, what's funny is this version has anti-tank, so they're just calling it a medium anti-tank gun on that 75,
Okay.
and that for early and mid is devastating.
Yeah.
Well, it was pretty good for a minute. I mean, it was a good tank for the minute that it was, not obsolete.
Yeah, it just had the riveted, but a lot of tanks had the riveted hulls.
Hmm.
Um,
I think I read somewhere the Eighth Army was using them pretty effectively against the Germans until the Germans figured them out how to get them on the other side of them.
Hmm.
yeah, they phased them out after Africa. The Russians, I guess, called it a coffin for seven comrades. So they didn't like it at all. But they don't use their tank tactics were basically just throw tanks at things. It's like,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
it's not for that.
I did put a pre-order in for the USA book and the paratroopers, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I put in a pre-order for some of the Germans because I need to build that up. But look at these pin markers, right? And these are like really cool. I've seen those kind before, but now Warlord is selling them.
I
Nice.
think we're finally realized those red plastic pin markers they had were horrible. So
Yeah, they really were, weren't they?
But here's my little bone to pick. I guess the new sets just have little paper markers for the pins, which I thought was maybe a downgrade for the new sets. But, whatever. Being picky.
Yeah, I think yeah, you put a little paper chip, but I think it's meant to put a die on there.
Oh,
oh,
okay.
your order die. I thought after you, or maybe
Uh,
not. I think that
uh-huh.
was die.
Yeah,
You're
you're
probably right.
yeah. So you put the order die on there, which is good, and then it's a dial pin, isn't it?
Yeah,
Looks like it.
Yeah. I don't the chips. I don't know. We
I'm
should.
not
Or
sure.
maybe put those little numbers in the square, like 7, 8, 9.
But it looks like they also have a couple of ranged in markers and stuff as well. So I'm
Yeah.
not sure what all the tricks are for.
Yep. We'll have to investigate. Yeah, I don't. I have to rebuild all that stuff, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. Who knows?
Right.
Stick with dice for a while, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
easier.
And then I guess they're going to release. Does anyone know what the next book is going to be for the release after the United States?
I'm thinking, was it Japan?
No, but I thought I thought it was a British.
Oh, British, of course.
Okay, so it'll probably be British, then Soviets.
Then Japan's last. I know that. Yeah.
Japan's last. Okay, because
I
we.
saw that some Japanese troops are going to be released.
Yeah.
Japanese commanders.
Yeah, I could use some. I'm curious to see if they do some nicer new Japanese infantry. I would certainly buy some.
Hmm.
I also heard. I mean, this coming weekend is also the big Adepticon convention
Mm,
in Milwaukee, and I believe they were going to have some presentation or something on the new Conflict 47 game that they're coming out with.
Oh, I saw the postings on that.
So I'm curious to see what that's like because I think that would be fun. I always liked the original Conflict 47, but it was the rule set was out of sync with Bolt Action because it was Conflict 47 used Bolt Action 1 rules, and then Bolt Action 2 rules came out right afterwards, and they were different, which made it difficult.
Hmm. Okay.
yeah, because the original thing was if you played Bolt Action, you could play Comp 47 or vice versa, right?
Yeah, I mean, normal U.S. Army or any Army Bolt Action would be able to be fielded in Conflict 47 right as is without any changes, and you could just add some weird stuff to it.
Like zombies.
Zombies, Tesla guns, stuff like that. Giant mechs, lots of stuff. Yes.
Yeah, there was this kind of a following that started up and then it just disappeared. I don't know.
It was the support wasn't great. They didn't have plastic models, so like the giant walkers were like incredibly expensive and made out of metal and resin. And since it was based on the Bolt Action One rules, it wasn't quite as good as playing just regular Bolt Action. So we'll see. I heard they got Andy Chambers to work on the new version 2 of the rule set and some other famous designers. So I'm looking forward to hearing what they have to say this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, and that didn't Adepticon used to be in Chicago?
In Chicago, this is the first year it's in Milwaukee. It grew too big, and they had to move it to a bigger convention center.
Nice. Shamila Shamazel.
It's a place I want to go to one of these days. I think it would be a fun convention, but it's the mecca of miniature conventions. But I heard it's quite large, so
Nice. The Mecca.
all the games and store owners that you want to buy stuff are there. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, because it's a big 40K tournament too, right?
there are lots of tournaments. I mean, it's mostly tournament based. There are lots of tournaments. It's probably the biggest Bolt Action tournament as well.
Interesting.
Huh.
So we're gonna have to go out and have some beer and brats and check it out next year,
That's
huh?
right. That's right.
Yeah, the first year it'll be in Milwaukee. It'll be curious to hear what people say when they're there and when they get back about the new location.
Milwaukee's a cool city. I think it'll be a great venue, I think.
It's downtown. It's the center of the city. There's supposedly lots of hotels and restaurants within walking distance, which is nice.
And probably cheaper than Chicago.
Well, it wasn't really in Chicago. It was like in out by the airport of Chicago, so it was in the middle of nowhere because it was cheaper there. So there was no place to go really, and it was smaller than the current location they've got this year.
Cool, cool.
Nice.
So, what's happening in April, everybody? So you're gonna do another church, right?
AWI or that
Yeah.
era,
In early April, yes.
and
And
then I'm gonna have spring break, so I'm gonna try to get as many games of something in as I can.
what about you, Phil? Any like big model building? You're gonna build elephants.
I finished my elephants, and going to keep working on my Carthaginians, and I am working on basically the Battletech miniatures that I need to do for the May convention. So I'm starting to work on those because I'm going to run a large scale game there that I need to get some more painting done for on Memorial Day weekend.
And
Excellent.
and I'm rebuilding my American army, and then I'll start on my Germans, and then my British. Yikes!
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, stop by Xander's. They have a package for you there.
I know. I stopped by when I was at robotics up in
Oh,
Oxnard.
oh, did you get it?
Yes, it was
Oh,
incredible.
cool.
So the
Okay,
guys
good, good.
pitched in and got me a ton of bolt action.
Nice.
It was really, really cool.
Awesome.
I
Okay,
think it
cool.
was you and Jace, right? That
Mainly Jace, man. It was mainly
really?
Jace.
Oh my
And
gosh.
Gene.
Okay, so I gotta
Yeah.
figure out a way to like publicly thank them because that was huge.
Yeah, no, they're great.
Well, I can do it right here. I mean, Xander
Yeah.
and Jace and you, Mark, threw together a huge army. So I got, oh my gosh, I got two battle boxes of British, and I got the another box of infantry. It was like crazy. It was like, it was funny too because I had no idea. Just went to pick up my uh, German book, and I was,
Okay, cool.
I was taking a break from the robotics. So the kids were competing, and I ran over to the store, and she goes, "Oh wait, look!"
Nice.
And I come out with this big box of
Awesome.
stuff, and
Yeah.
all the kids were like, "Whoa, what did you do?"
That's awesome, man.
It
I'm
was.
glad that you got it. Okay, well, now you got to get to work, right?
Oh yeah, I've been working. Well, you saw, I've been working.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm just messing with you. Just messing with you. Right on, man. That's good. I'm glad that we could do that for you.
Yeah, that's
It was,
very, very
it
cool.
was really driven by those guys mainly. So
Oh well, that's I want to come up there and like have a party with you guys and thank you.
sure,
So,
that's great. Awesome. Glad
all
that
right.
I'm sure you do the same.
Oh, totally, yeah. All right, so no one's going to advance probably.
No,
Anything
a
in
little
the
bit of a drive.
far future? I think Mini Wars is in October again. Oh, that's cool. Mini Wars is going to happen at UC Fullerton.
Nice.
So it's coming back to there, which is such a really cool venue.
Yeah, I liked it when I went there.
Yeah, I've been there. I like it there too. So yeah.
So that's exciting. I'm definitely carving out. I'm going to take off for that. I'm not going to skip that one. I'm going to do some bolt action there and maybe run
Sweet.
an event.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll gear up for that.
Nice. In May we're doing another bolt action at the church, and
Oh,
then you're
yes.
doing what is it? Memorial Day?
Memorial
Uh,
Day next Strategicon.
yeah.
But then actually this past Strategicon was pretty good. The HMGS guys were doing some games. I know it was like a Mexican American Revolution game there. There was also a couple of Rebels and Patriots games. There were more historical games than I had seen in the past at this last Strategicon.
That's always good.
Yeah.
And if anyone's listening from Arizona, their Sand Wars is happening. They found a new place for Sand Wars, so that's coming up. We'll have more on that next episode.
Nice.
But all those people know because that community is really tight over there in Arizona.
Tuscan Raiders get a discount.
That's great. All right, any last words, Mark?
Just keep rolling. That's all I can say.
And how about you, Phil?
It's good to be back. It's glad to have the podcast back.
Yeah, and I have to second that. And also, it's good to have the painting gear back and doing the painting. That's been really helpful. So, and getting that big, huge box of love was incredible. So, thank you
Nice.
again. That was like
Yeah, yeah,
amazing. And so we'll
Yeah.
be painting and having a great time.
cool.
So we'll see you guys in April, which is coming up pretty fast, but that's
Yep.
cool. We'll have lots to report and lots of pictures and lots of updates. So, Mark, do you want to hit us with some tunes?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a little. Hang on, and here we go.
See you guys.
Bye, everyone.